The truth is, life doesn't leave us a map. It leaves us markers. Moments that stand out like constellations burned into the night sky of memory, guiding us, haunting us, shaping us. Each experience becomes a trace, a vibration that joins the symphony of our becoming. Today on the Nexus Nexcast, we're traveling through those markers, exploring how consciousness expresses itself through physical life, through cycles of joy and grief, creation and loss, and how awareness changes what it means to truly live. Stay with me on this one. It's not just reflection. It's exploration. A journey through layers of perception, meaning, and the mysterious hum at the center of existence. What makes a moment stick in memory? Why do certain experiences feel like time slows while others pass unnoticed? Maybe it's because some moments carry deeper energetic signatures, markers of transformation. The first heartbreak, the unexpected kindness of a stranger, the moment you lost someone, the day a dream finally came true. They become more than experiences. They become signposts of identity. Each marker whispers, "Here, you changed." We tend to think of time as a straight line, but the psyche doesn't agree. It loops, revisits, fractures, and heals. Those loops of memory are how consciousness stabilizes growth. The past isn't behind us. It lives inside us. Every thought, every habit, every subtle emotional reaction is a marker echoing forward. The power lies not in erasing markers, but in decoding them, turning experience into understanding. The question of what happens after death might be the oldest inquiry of consciousness itself. Some say consciousness ceases, others say it transforms. Mystics say we remember who we were before we were born. What if death isn't an interruption, but a continuation? A doorway between densities of experience. Every culture has encoded this question with myth, faith, or ritual. To die in many traditions is to wake, to rejoin the larger consciousness that dreams every life simultaneously. Maybe heaven, reincarnation, or afterlife are all metaphors for a truth words barely touch. That consciousness is eternal, and physical experience is the dream of the infinite, wanting to know itself through limits. We fear death because we don't remember life before form. But somewhere inside, the soul carries the memory of the infinite. That's why near-death experiences feel familiar. Why moments of déjà vu feel ancient. The boundary between life and death might not be a wall, but a translucent veil. We cross constantly in sleep, meditation, or grief. Consciousness is elusive. Scientists define it in terms of brain states. Spiritualists call it awareness itself. But maybe both are right. Maybe consciousness is both within the brain and far beyond it. Think of it like light through a prism. The brain is the prism, consciousness is the light, and each individual mind one unique spectrum of that unfolding brilliance. When we think, feel, create, or love, we're refracting cosmic awareness into human expression. That's why meditation feels like remembering. It's not about emptying the mind. It's about merging back into source signal, the body as antenna, the heart as receiver. We don't create consciousness, we tune into it. Every breath is participation in an infinite conversation between energy and awareness. If existence is cyclical, then birth and death are just turning points in a much longer rhythm. Imagine the ocean. Each wave rises, crashes, and returns. Not separate, but continuous. That's the cycle of being. Reincarnation isn't about repetition. It's refinement. The wave never comes back exactly the same. Maybe we return again and again to experience the full range of being, strength and vulnerability, giving and receiving, joy and heartbreak. Each life another octave in consciousness's great symphony. And if we understood that, we might honor every life, human and otherwise, as part of the same current pulsing through eternity. Old narratives can pull us back into familiar patterns, whispering that nothing can change. But the irony is, the past only exists now. We recreate it every time we replay the same emotional footage. Healing begins when we stop carrying the story as identity. When something painful resurfaces, the question isn't why is this happening again? It's what wants to be released this time. Every burden contains a message. Every wound carries coding for growth. Transformation doesn't mean forgetting. It means freeing the energy trapped inside the story. Grief changes texture with time. At first it feels like drowning, a tidal suffocation. Then slowly, subtly, it becomes quieter, but deeper. Like an underground river silently reshaping terrain. To grieve is to love across dimensions. It reveals the impossibility of separation, even when form is gone. Some philosophers say grief is consciousness confronting its own eternity. The heart realizing its attachments were never temporary, just temporarily embodied. Maybe healing isn't closure. Maybe it's expanding wide enough to include both love and loss. As we age, the mirror becomes less significant and the inner landscape more fascinating. We realize youth was never about smoothness of skin, but velocity of curiosity. Aging redefines what matters. We prune what no longer resonates, refine what does. We begin to seek simplicity over spectacle. And that simplicity feels like truth. Aging isn't decay, it's distillation. It clarifies who we were all along. For many, it also brings forgiveness, the ability to meet younger versions of ourselves with compassion, not criticism. Culture promotes longevity, numbers, productivity, counting everything except presence. But when you witness someone fully alive, laughing without restraint, crying with honesty, focusing completely in the moment, you realize true life is measured in depth, not duration. 10 minutes of authenticity can outweigh 10 years of survival mode. So much energy goes into staying alive, but not enough into being alive. Maybe quality is simply the degree to which we meet reality without armor. There's a sound that happens between people when they truly connect. Unheard, but deeply felt. That's resonance. It's emotional physics. Two frequencies synchronizing into harmony. Have you ever met someone and instantly felt at home? That's not luck. It's recognition. Consciousness remembering itself in another. Conversations that hum with resonance linger long after words fade. Maybe the most mystical thing about being human is that through each other, we come to know the infinite more intimately. The search for meaning might be the soul's primary function. Without it, even success feels hollow. Meaning isn't something we find. It's something we make by weaving intention into experience. Even in chaos, meaning can arise as awareness of pattern. The hardship becomes insight. The silence becomes rest. The confusion becomes initiation. We give meaning to the universe simply by choosing to ask, why? And that curiosity, that hunger for coherence, is what keeps consciousness evolving. Every mind is a lens, shaped by memory, culture, and emotion. We don't see it really as it is. We see it as we are. That's why two people can witness the same event and remember it differently. Filters of perception are both blessing and burden. They protect, but they also distort. The awakening process starts with cleaning that lens, seeing how assumptions tint our world. Reality might not change when we awaken, but our relationship to it does. And that changes everything. Intention is the pivot between thought and creation. It's the subtle direction of energy that transforms potential into pattern. But alignment matters. Intention without presence becomes wishful thinking. Intention with presence becomes magnetic fields. Think of it like tuning a string. Slight tension creates harmony. Too much creates dissonance. Each clear, heartfelt intention sends a ripple through the subconscious and out into the fields of possibility. An echo that calls matching experiences into form. When we align intention to soul rather than ego, reality cooperates. Growth invites discernment. In the beginning, we say yes to everything, to belong, to learn. But as awareness deepens, we start to notice energy leaks, the projects, relationships, and habits that drain rather than expand us. Setting standards isn't judgment, it's calibration. It says my energy is sacred, and I choose where it flows. When your standards rise, your environment upgrades to meet you. This applies everywhere, from art to work to love. Alignment attracts alignment. The world hungers for realness. We live in a curated age. Filters, personas, algorithms. But underneath, people crave raw humanity. Authenticity isn't perfection. It's coherence between inner state and outer expression. When we live authentically, even silence speaks truth. There's a certain peace that comes from no longer pretending, where presence itself becomes art. Relationships are teachers. Every interaction tests our alignment and maturity. They reveal what we tolerate, what we avoid, and what we still need to heal. One of life's hardest lessons is learning to differentiate between connection and attachment. Connection liberates. Attachment binds. Expectations often poison love. Not because we shouldn't have them, but because we assume others see the world as we do. When we replace control with curiosity, relationships become sacred laboratories for evolution. Ideas evolve as people do. Some thoughts that once felt absolute later collapse under new awareness. This isn't inconsistency, it's evidence of movement. Language itself reflects evolving consciousness. Words once taboo become tools for liberation. Philosophies once radical became common sense. To think differently over time isn't hypocrisy. It's proof of participation in the expanding universe. Stay teachable. The mind that keeps learning never becomes rigid. Have you ever had an insight so clear it felt remembered, not discovered? It arrives suddenly, simple, complete, undeniable. That's what people call a download. Maybe insights are consciousness fragments returning to integration. Truths rising from the deeper self that never forgets. When our mind quiets, downloads become audible. They don't shout, they resonate. It's as if the universe whispers, "You are ready to remember this now." There's something sacred about tasting or experiencing something for the first time. A new flavor, a new concept, a new emotion. They all remind the body, expansion can be delicious. In those micro moments, presence spikes. We pause, we notice. Maybe novelty is divine design. Each new flavor a catalyst to wake up the senses dulled by repetition. Curiosity, after all, is the palette of consciousness. All creation is rational. Stars form clusters, neurons spark in networks. People thrive in belonging. Connection is how life sustains its own awareness. To connect, really connect, is to touch the original unity behind all diversity. That's why loneliness can hurt so much. It's not just emotional pain. It's the body remembering separation is an illusion. When you share truth with someone who listens, you both expand. Connection multiplies consciousness. Planning may sound pragmatic, but at its core, it's creative visualization, a ritual of intention. When we plan, we tell time who we intend to become. Even small plans, prepping for an event, scheduling a project, create momentum toward that self. Preparation isn't control, it's co-creation. Like the collective thrill before the Super Bowl. Planning taps into anticipation, joy in motion before result. The energy of looking forward keeps hope alive. Curiosity is mental oxygen. Without stimulation, consciousness becomes stale. But there's a difference between overstimulation and engagement. True stimulation nourishes, like a challenging idea, a heartfelt debate, or a creative project that stretches us beyond our comfort. Engaged intellect, ignited emotion, active curiosity. These are signs that life force is pulsing strong. Feed your mind beauty. Feed it mystery. Keep it electric. Every February, something fascinating happens. Millions gather around a single event, the Super Bowl. It's not just about sports, it's about story, ritual, and community. At its core, it's a collective ceremony. Competition transformed into entertainment. Anticipation into unity. Food, laughter, nostalgia, it's all modern tribalism wrapped in jersey colors. Moments like these remind us that consciousness isn't just solitary. It craves shared vibration. Even through spectacle, humanity gathers to feel together. Career paths, much like consciousness, rarely move in straight lines. We think success is upward momentum, but sometimes it's lateral or even backward by design. Each pivot, each failed project, each unexpected shift teaches about purpose more than any achievement can. Every role has its karmic lessons about discipline, humility, leadership, or surrender. When viewed with awareness, even professional chaos becomes spiritual curriculum. And maybe the real metric of success isn't position or wealth, but alignment. Doing work that keeps the soul awake. The dark night of the soul. Those who've been there know. It's the space where light hides to teach us how to see in the dark. You lose faith, identity, certainty. Everything once solid dissolves. It feels like failure. but it's actually rebirth in process. When the personality breaks down, essence steps forward. Every awakening story passes through the shadow. It's not punishment, it's purification. If you're in that stage right now, hold on. Something luminous waits on the other side of surrender. Self-discovery isn't a journey outward. It's an unlayering of illusion. Who we think we are is a collage of expectations, defenses, adaptations. Peel them back, and what remains is peace, simple being. Acceptance invites that peace in. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It's alignment with truth. When we stop disowning aspects of ourselves, when even our flaws are met with tenderness, we move from self-improvement to self-remembrance. Some relationships feel fated, almost scripted before time. They arrive precisely when we're ready, or when we've outgrown our avoidance. These are karmic agreements, souls arranging encounters to evolve through experience. Sometimes the lesson is love, sometimes it's release, but always expansion. That's why closure often feels incomplete. It's not the goodbye that matters, but the understanding that the exchange fulfilled its purpose. Karmic partners don't all stay, but they all leave a marker. Manifestation isn't magic. It's mathematics of energy. Everything vibrates. Thoughts are frequencies. Belief determines signal strength. Reality responds to coherence, the alignment between mental clarity, emotional conviction, and embodied action. When we manifest from fear, we magnetize avoidance patterns. When we manifest from joy, we amplify flow. The universe isn't granting wishes, it's mirroring vibration. So focus not on what you lack, but on what already vibrates as truth within you. You don't chase alignment, you become it. The markers of our experience form constellations, patterns of becoming, that reflect consciousness unfolding through human life. Life, death, grief, connection, meaning, they're all chapters in one infinite story, told throughout the rhythm of your breath. So maybe we don't measure life by time or titles, but how deeply we feel it. Every chapter, every cycle, every awakening brings us closer to remembering what we've always been: light, learning to love its own shadow. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and keep listening between the moments.